the first pick team, they're the ones setting the the heroes that can be used in this game. Like for example, Omega, they ban out the Natalia. Actually, I don't I don't agree with the Natalia ban as early as this, because you want to be able to set up momentum. But at this point, Omega, they just need to reset. So I kind of understand where they're coming from. They want a confidence game. Like you don't want to be under pressure of Echo picking these heroes.
Yeah, and so much of these picks are being very, very targeted here.
They're just resetting.
This. Yeah, they're going for the hard reset draft here.
Yeah. This is gonna bite them in the end, because again, Echo gets 2, you only get 1, so you have to maximize. Now Echo, they have a lot of choices here. They can either completely ignore Valentina and remove the gold lane matchups between these two teams. But never mind, they go with the Valentina ban, so it's the other way around. Now they're opening a lot of the gold lanes, so that if Omega picks up the 1-1, they get the Beatrix.
And I think that Omega is also very open to keeping the Phoveus available on the draft. We've seen Chaknu play very well on these heroes previously. What more now in its buffed form?
Yep.
So something to think about here on the draft. And of course, the Beatrix obviously will not be garnering any hard bans today.
Yeah, a lot of things to consider here for both squad. Faram is still in the pool, as well as the Akai, the Fanny, and the Ling. These heroes are, if you're Omega, yes, you're happy that you're able to pick a meta hero and a comfort hero for your own, but Echo, they have 2 picks. So Omega, they chose to go for the Akai ban route, but Echo, they can do a lot of damage here. The only remaining choice is to ban out the Faramis, so you don't have to deal with it, and you're gonna have yourselves the Ling, the Esmeraldas, and the Beatrix.
You ban out the Faramis and then it's an even game. What do you end up with, Omega? You go Beatrix.
Yep.
You can play 1-1. You pick your poison. So I think that would be the smart choice here. That would be the how do I say, level-headed choice.
Yeah.
If you want to go for a reset. Man, I'm so sad we don't get to see the Dragon Warrior.
Yeah. Just so happy that we are at week 2, day 2, match 2, game 2.
So it's still the same idea.
Yep.
They're they're reserving the meta heroes for the 2 picks.
There it is.
It's the Faramis on the side of Omega. Now, if you're Echo, you don't pick the 1-1. Just leave it on the table, because you can still pick up the Beatrix and the Claude. So it's not gonna matter that much unless they really prioritize getting the 1-1 for outplay.
Yeah, it's interesting that they have so much options now, Echo, despite the Faramis pick on Omega.
Link's open, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's gonna remain open here.
Yeah. So Zyda can get his hands on the assassin. Also, a lot of the assassins are quite, how would I say this? Quite okay if Echo wants to play it, because the Hayabusa, the Lancelot, they're still open, and Zyda plays it really, really well. So it is the 1-1. Ooh, what? Diggy!
This is interesting.
I can see it already, the interaction between the Time's Journey and the Cult Altar. Just get out of there.
Basically just dodging the Cult Altar altogether.
That or Time's Journey, so that our firepower is unstifled, unsuppressed, and then we just wipe out your extra HP. That kind of makes sense too.
Honestly, would have worked. I get the idea, but I would prefer to see a Claude against Faramis' lineup, because now, if you think about it, even if they pull that team fight off, you need to be concerned about the damage, which is why Omega is eyeing at the Claude, and Grok is such a good hero here. You force out the Time's Journey from the Diggy. It's a very nice choice, a very good answer, and it serves a big problem to Echo.
And with the picks like these, basically Omega are the ones who dictate where and when they want the team fight to happen.
Oh man, Echo, really big problem on their hands.
Gross. The Soul Stampede goes through walls. Even if you are not ready to fight, he's gonna pull you in.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking this Paquito pick. Aside from the fact that it's it's a hero that deals so much damage in the mid game, it's also a flex. Like 3-Mark can play the XP lane Paquito, and Zyda can also play the Paquito jungle. But they opted to go for the Ling, I believe.
Yep. It's gonna switch up. That definitely is not the Paquito voice line.
That's true.
I don't like Ling against Faramis, honestly.
Yeah. Because you have one shot. You have one big ultimate that you want to use.
Yeah, you use Tempest of Blades, Faramis will just follow you. And if you don't time it right, the Faramis can pull you back.
Yeah.
And that is a big problem for the Ling. Like, if you go to a wall and Faramis is able to drag you back, that's 20 seconds of not being able to move around the map.
It's basically very difficult to re-engage if you're a Ling against a Cult Altar with fully stacked players on Omega. So I can see the problem that they're going to be facing here later on. And I'm wondering what they're going to do, because I'm sure they thought about it too. They don't really have a solid front line to rely on. So they're always going to be playing from the back foot. If they go for something similar to what NXPE was doing, where they go for a huge damage-dealing lineup.
Yeah, I'm really finding it hard to look for a support hero for the side of Echo, unless it's a pause for Digi, because I think actually it's hard to find a tank duo for Echo. I mean, I'm speechless because I'm trying to find a duo for Echo to deal with the Faramis and Grok of Smart Omega. You have to consider that you need to have enough damage to deal, to completely eliminate the Faramis before the fight breaks out. And you also have to consider the fact that there is a Claude on the side of Omega. So Echo, this is going to be a hard second phase for them. And Omega, they have a lot of choices to go about. They can actually snipe out the Paquito for themselves. It's a good hero against the Ling because you have enough damage to burst him down, enough to force the Tempest of Blades, and also a decent hero to deal with the Digi and the Beatrix.
Yeah, and I love Omega, super aware of their win condition. They removed two of the biggest AoE mages in the game. So that Echo's gonna be so limited on what they can do against the Cult Altar.
If I may, the Sicilian feels a little too safe. Already you have an investment in the Ling and the Beatrix, and there's the XP lane Paquito. For sure now it's an XP lane Paquito.
Yes.
I think it's just to block off the Paquito pick from Omega.
Steal it away.
Again, still a lot of options for Omega. I want to see a Ryzen Lancelot, Hayabusa, or even the Thams for the jungle role. Because you just need a sustain for the Claude to pop off in the late game. Now the Uranus pick, it's a decent hero, but I feel like it is gonna become a problem in the late game because you don't bring enough pressure in the early to mid to to completely remove the momentum of Echo. Now it's gonna come from the jungle, so I feel like they have to pick a decent jungler here for Ryzen. So that is the Thams that they're hovering over, and they go with.
This could go sideways very, very quick.
Oh my goodness.
It's all in on Kelra.
Oh man, I'm having a hard time with Echo's lineup right now. Yeah. It's so difficult to draft for, considering that they have zero crowd control, almost, except for Diggy's time journey. Or sorry, Diggy's reverse time. And now they have a Lunox. They're basically going all damage. What is CC?
All in, confirmed.
Is that edible? I don't think so.
It's going to be a roaming Diggy. So JP on the Diggy. Is it JP or Raflesia who abused
it was
the
Raflesia.
Diggy?
It was Raflesia.
Cool.
But I was gonna say that the first team to ever feel the onslaught of the Diggy feed was Omega. When they were Execration before.
This is history repeating itself, folks. Season 6.
Flashbacks, man.
This is season 6 in the middle of the sweet year that was 2020.
It's a hard lineup for both sides to play, honestly. I love the Faramis and Claude because the Grok pick from the side of Omega, but I think they stopped when they picked up the Uranus because it doesn't feel like it contributes to the strategy, Like,
so blunt.
Echo will be able to play in the early to mid unless they really mess up on the timings or the rotations for the first few minutes. But for Echo, again, it's a hard game to play.
It's a Beleric cosplay.
It's a Beleric cosplay, basically.
But I do believe it should have been a Thams. Makes more sense.
I'm sure it is.
As a Thams. So yeah, I'm all in with you, Midnight. I agree that the Uranus and the, in part, Thams pick is a little too blunt. It's a little too soft, and it's clear that they're going all in on the Kelra plan. What if that goes sideways? What happens?
Well, they lose. Pretty much.
They go
That's
home.
it.
They go home.
But I feel like, the Thams pick was decent. It's just that they might be, there might be issues in the early to mid game where Echo can capitalize. Because they have the Ling, they have the Paquito, they have enough firepower in them to rotate
Diggy.
around the map. They have Diggy, they have the ability to scout, and they also have the Lunox for the late game security. Like the roamers or the the fighters or the sustainers on the side of Omega will melt against the Lunox. So Echo, they have a win condition, but it was allowed when Omega picked up the Uranus.
Yeah, I love it because you're bringing up the Lunox in the hands of Curtizi. It answers both the Tams and the Uranus.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised why they didn't pick up the Benedetta instead.
I guess they're actually just banking on a lineup that can kind of just go ham, because they want like full-on damage on one lane and maybe try to win the lanes from there. But again, I personally feel like it's difficult for them to win lanes with a lack of crowd control in any of their heroes, except for the Diggy.
One thing that Omega has to consider here is the fact that the Paquito will always move around the map, and Uranus cannot stop that. Unless if you're a Thams, you're Diroth, you're Esmeralda, you don't allow the Paquito to just move around the map freely. The Uranus doesn't do that. Like if you're the Uranus, what you want to do is get inside the base of Echo.
There it is!
In hindsight, maybe a Benedetta would have been great, but
General
here we
Kai!
go! Ryzen debuting the General Kai skin, as voiced by J.K. Simmons
So
from the
happy.
hit film Kung Fu Panda 3. Game number 2, Omega versus Echo. Here we go. An orange start for Ryzen and purple for Saida.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting to watch just because, aside from the skin, obviously, we want to see how Echo is going to fare with this lineup. Obviously, it's very squishy. It's very in your face.
Yeah.
At the same time,
They have a lot of damage though.
Yeah, easy to deal with if you think about it for Omega.
I like the fact that JP is rocking that, ooh!
Wow, all right,
What
there
an
you go.
outplay!
We're talking about pure damage. That's what Lunox does.
Mid lane trade.
Mid lane trade, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We got JP again babysitting on top side for the Beatrix, so he was not present for that engagement.
It's really hard for Echo to deal with the early game pacing of Omega. Again, there's a there's a band-aid solution though, as provided by Omega themselves. There's the Uranus presence on the bottom lane. This Paquito will be a threat in the mid game, and also that Lunox. But I want to go back to the point where I was talking about the impure rage of JP. It ensures that he doesn't really need to go back. He will always have the mana, and the amount of damage that the bombs will deal against Omega is gonna be huge. If you don't take out this Diggy and he gets his stacks up, that is gonna hurt.
That's true. This was debuted in the previous week by Blacklist themselves, and it proved to be very, very potent in that series.
JP literally never has to go home, because again, he spawns on the map.
That is.
First-
Oh, you're correct.
I mean, for mana.
Yeah, for mana too. First turtle is up, and I'm kind of making ends meet now with this Uranus. It makes sense. Curtizi in trouble. He gets popped. The reason why they picked up the Uranus is they want the snowball. So the early to mid opening that Echo has is kind of nullified. So Omega, this is what Coach Bauer was thinking about.
And there's going to be so much that Zaida and Fremar have to deal with. That is a four-man squad for Omega, trying hard to go on the dive. Yeah, luckily Zaida still gets that purple buff, but it was a very costly one.
General Kai almost got his hands on it. I'm losing my mind, bro. That's that skin is hilarious.
So good.
And he gets the turtle. Omega, again, you feel the early game threat that this lineup brings to the table. But Echo, they're playing it safe. They know that they can just wait it out. They don't need to rush any movements. They don't need to force out any plays. They know they will have the farm on both the Beatrix, actually all the cores, which will become a problem for Omega. But I'm still gonna go back to the idea that when it comes, when the late game comes, this Claude and Faramis will be a huge problem. And add to that, the added insult is that they have the Thams to make the bridge, make that late game come true for the side of Omega.
Make it possible. Make it more than just a dream. Because in game 1, that late game was a dream, and Renzio's in trouble.
Yeah, Renzio, man. Again, he is kind of just flexing here, kind of gauging very well the damage output from a Paquito and from a Ling. Still very confident while buying his team obviously a lot more time around the map to roam.
Very similar to what 3Mars Uranus in game 1 was doing. So yeah, they learned a few things from that loss. So again, you only lose if you never learn.
And again, Freewar very much aware of what, being given a taste of his own medicine sounds like or tastes like right now. And it's a big nuisance. Right now, Echo again threatening that purple buff. I think it is taken this time around by Ryzen. Am I correct? Yes, it is.
Looks exactly my game when I'm playing Ling in ranked games.
Oh man, come on.
And this looks like my Tams. I love it.
Yep. Omega, they're really comfortable and really confident in making these mid-game plays because they know there's no answer coming out from Echo. The Paquito hasn't done anything on the map, not because he didn't choose to, but because Omega's playstyle doesn't allow any arrows coming out from their side to be punished by Echo. But again, it is it is of timers. For Echo, they have enough damage to the point where they can kill heroes on the side of Omega.
All right, we got some action coming here from Omega. Sorry, from Echo rather. We got some moves on top side. They were able to take out Kelra very quickly, and now the threat of the turtle will be going over to Echo. Ryzen not really ready to contest that anytime soon. Again,
this is what you end up with. You have faster rotation speed from Echo, given the Ling. But how much more?
What?
Where'd that happen? That was off cam.
Camera didn't even catch it. Who would have expected that? But Primar is able to do an assassination on the backline against Ryzen, and now this turtle is 100% Echo.
This is typical 3-Mari playstyle. Like, walk over to a bush, wait for somebody to pop out, and use all the skills that you can. Taking out the Thams and shutting down the mid-game tempo and momentum of Omega. Now Echo has the upper hand. We're starting to feel the lack of presence on the map of the Uranus. Doesn't really feel that he's contributing to the pressure that Omega can put onto the table. And Echo played on the top lane for the majority of that moment. Like Omega, they didn't answer because they know they don't have the time to alleviate the pressure that Echo is applying on the top lane. They need to make a play, but 3-Mar completely shuts off the Thams.
And now completely enabled here is the Echo lineup. Chakno actually having a hard time scouting it out. Look at the damage this Grok is absorbing.
He needs that, whatever that is. I'm guessing that's an Athena shield. He needs it ASAP. He needs it now. Yeah, because apparently you're right. If your rage on JP is just tearing apart the high HP heroes of Omega, who are now diving hard on Echo. Really quickly decimated JP, and now Cortese as well. That's 2 kills going over the Kelra.
You could not expect a much faster initiation by Omega. This is typical Omega clash. Like the amount of time that it took for Omega to go in, it was an instant Echo. They didn't have the time to respond. It was so honest too. It was literally like a train on some tracks. Like, I know it's coming, but there's nothing I can do. I'm curious as to how that happened. Like, what were the comms from Omega? Were there questions like, do we go? Do we go? Or was it like, let's go?
I would say just one letter, G. That's it. They went all in. They flipped the switch and they were good to go. It was almost like, it was Rafaela-like. The way that they all came in quick with the holy healing. That's true. That's a good trade by Echo. They recovered very quickly by taking tier 1 turret and bot. And they did almost get a kill as well. Outplayed, showing some pretty good render skills on Matrix as well.
This Paquito is becoming a huge problem for Omega. It's such a nuisance that they cannot deal with, because if they want to deal with the Paquito, they're just wasting time.
Speaking of Paquito, look at this, free Martese.
It's a waste of time, honestly.
Going straight to the face of Omega there. And again, he is quite low. Chaknu with the attack, but Time's Journey will keep Echo alive here. And
the bombs!
Oh my goodness.
That was the bomb.
That was a bomb.
Ouch.
Oh man.
Ouchie.
All right, so that was
a big boo-boo.
That was a 50-50 what the ideal engages from Omega and what the ideal disengages from Echo. And now it comes down to the final turtle.
And here comes Echo trying to contest this turtle. Again, it's going to be very important. Kelra on the backside. That's going to be Ryzen taking out that turtle, and some good damage being provided by Kelra. Being dove in, we got the Ling on the backhand. It is attacking Kelra. It's not really on the screen, but we are not seeing it. I want to see how that happened, but that looked very, very close there. Kelra outplayed Zyda in that last one for sure.
Literally outplayed. Did you see that bait onto the Beatrix? Outplayed, was forced to use his ultimate, but the BMI was there. 3-Mar?
One more big fight here. JP keeping everyone live. Same for Etomax. Cloak Alder is activated. JP quite low. Outplay takes out the Faramis. Next will be Ryzen. Pretty good damage dealing capabilities being observed here from Outplayed.
It's the Paquito problem again for Omega. They did pull out a fantastic play onto the turtle, but Echo, they bounce back. 3mar with this Bloodlust Axe and Dominance Ice pickup. It's really something that Omega needs to address. Echo is putting the Paquito on the front line to become the sustain and damage output, and they're just waiting for the proper timing to engage.
Yeah.
They know that they can save the Paquito out when Omega engages because they have the time's journey. And Omega, they cannot follow suit even if they have the mobility. Echo will just push back.
Oh man, 3 Martisi
Look at
fighting
this.
1v free.
Oh, the wall.
Proving he can still survive. Goodness gracious.
That's it. That's it. That's how they play. Their only way to peel, and then the rest will just burst down. That's one way to use the times journey. They can still find better engages. They're now ahead 1,000 gold. Echo have found a way to make this lineup work. And Omega, we're still waiting. We haven't seen quite yet the damage that Kelra can actually do.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet. Itemization-wise, he's got Demon Hunter Sword. He's got the Golden Staff as well. But the rest is actually still to follow. And 3 Martisi actually is very heftily itemized here.
And I have to say, this is such a feels bad moment for Omega. Having to play with a Uranus, you know that you'll always be fighting 4v5. So they know that they don't have the toolkit to deal with the Paquito when 3mar does this.
Yeah, it's like the Cult Altar not really maximized its full potential.
And anybody on the side of Echo can deal with the Uranus. They have... Oh my
What?
goodness!
Outplayed, walking in, making that bush a lethal one for Etomax. Cult Altar, who?
Well, that's a shotgun to the face. There's no way to answer that at all.
Oh my goodness.
Etomax did not have time to react.
Nothing. You can't sprint out of that. Would have been too fast. This is literally similar to what happened in mid.
Yep.
Like a train on tracks. Like, what do I do?
I love the itemization that the 3mar is going here. Look at what is this?
He's got a zoo here.
What is this?
Oh no.
Yeah, Echo's fielding a zoo here.
I'll be honest, I didn't know this was possible.
5.
Apparently it
Yeah.
is. The timer
It's the limit. It's the
on
limit.
the auto alarm bombs allows for maybe 4 bombs to be in the same spot
This
for
is such crazy zoning potential from Echo.
Only
And
a
I have to go back.
seconds.
There's a huge problem that Omega is already facing. It's the Paquito. Now you have to add this, like the bombs from Echo. You've seen the damage output of JP. You've seen how capable the zoning damage is from the side of Echo. And now Omega, they're forced to deal with this kind of lineup. And you only have the Claude to answer this up with.
I can tell Omega's actually a little flabbergasted. They don't know how to answer these pushes. And 3 Martisi, again, in any hero you put him, seems to be such a nuisance to the opponent.
He's hungry. The young Freddy Marcirafco is hungry. And look at that. The Renner shot
Jeez
by
Louise.
outplayed on Kelra, chunking him by quite almost literally half. Here's the thing. You know what? So far, Omega in the first maybe 5 to 6 minutes, they found their stride, right?
Yeah.
But right now, up until this point, up until the 12, 13-minute mark, it's not quite their tempo.
Yeah.
Coating Fletcher from the movie Whiplash in 2014, also starring J.J. Simmons, a fight!
Oh, one big one here. Cult Altar
Disengage.
prematurely activated. Killer with the blazing duet. Not really hitting their marks. They're so hungry for outplay, and they shut him down. JP goes down as well. The answer is very apparent for Omega. Let's just go in and turn on the switch. But on the back foot, 3 Martisi goes for the Savage. Filipino Savage. My butt. And that is going to be Zaida in the middle of the fight once more. They still want to go for it.
They're going! Zaida finds one! Ryzen's in trouble! There's only so much that this Bison can deal with! And they're gonna get it!
Oh, the
Wild
wild
charge! Wild charge! Zaida goes down! And that's a wipeout! That's a wipeout! General Kai gets him! JP respawns!
Oh, JP's back in the field. Oh my god, this is the worst moment. The worst moment to respawn, and now they're down the man again.
So many good moments from that team fight alone. Again, Omega executes another fast engage against Echo, but the disengage was there, but Kelra was like, no, I'm going for the back line. I want to take out the Beatrix, and they did follow suit. Echo, they didn't have the firepower to deal with the Cult Altar from the side of Omega, but 3 Martisi with the snipe on the backside. He was like, Kelra, what are you doing here? I can take you out. But Echo, I have to say, that's a feels bad moment from Zaida. He didn't commit the second skill when he was on the cliff. Could have taken out the Thams before Omega could have responded.
Oh, they're not done.
Oh, JP, you just got back.
So that's one man down. JP about 30 seconds away. Echo, they learned a very important lesson here. When someone commits, everyone has to commit. 3mar was so focused. Tunnel vision on the perfect target, and he made Kelra pay.
That was a big impact, actually, that completely stopped Omega from a potential GG push.
Yep.
But right now, it's going to be up to Echo to stop this Lord. It will be a huge comeback. Zyda needs to refocus. He's on the sides. He is on the wall. Cult Altar is activated, and he is in no position to go for the retribution. Lord goes over to Omega.
Nothing. The barangay goes wild as Omega secures this luminous Lord. This is the kind of Lord that can jump in and smash turrets.
And that's exactly what they need to break apart this defense composed of bunnies. And it is proving to be very difficult for them earlier. It was, but now Zyda could be in trouble. As the Finch boy still able to make it out alive for the meantime.
Very interesting item buildup for the lane. He opted to go for the Blade of Despair. Sheer damage output is what Echo is eyeing at Omega. They have the Lord. What charge?
Very difficult to keep that Lord out, but they are able to do it as much as they can with Freedom RTZ's firepower and Outplayed's fire support on the back foot. But again, it's actually going to be very difficult for Echo to go for a full-on push. They do need Zyda to go for these splits.
Yep. Echo is doing everything that they can to split the map and put enough pressure to Omega, because Omega, they need to group up if they ever want to fight. So what Echo needs right now is split the map into 3 parts. 3mar TZ can deal with a lane on his own, because we've already seen how sustainable the Paquito is. But Omega, they're not gonna be, they're not gonna be put into a position where they're forced to deal with the split pushers. They always put the pressure. So this is the right thing to do. You just make yourself, you make yourself visible on one part of the map so that Echo needs to react.
For a moment, we did see how Echo's lineup was working very, very well. But we're going to a point where Kelra is actually super battle ready.
Yeah, picking up the Malefic Roar here. Yeah, 3mar can zone him out, but that's up to 3mar, so you're overloading the young XP laner from Echo. I'm wondering when they're going to switch gears, when they're going to step on the clutch and say, you know what, we're done split pushing, we have to hunt for bodies and make for this, I'm thinking what, 17, 18-minute Lord, we're about a minute away.
But it's a sad part about Echo's lineup, there's no catch whatsoever. Like, yeah, you have the reverse time, but it's a Dicky. Like, Echo is not gonna be the ones initiating the fight against Omega. They need to find a complete pick-off. By that, I mean Omega mispositioning around the map.
And it's so easy now for Omega, given that they have the firepower now. They have the capability to just pop JP.
Zero crowd control means there's no way to stop the Cult Altar, the death ball of Omega.
Immortality on the Diggy, that's it. JP learns, like, my team needs me.
And the Winter Truncheon.
I don't know. If you're the Diggy, you might just want to get, damage. But at this point, he already knows that he's died 5 times, so the stacks are not going to be there. So it's better now to invest in sustain items, because you know that you're going to be, you're going to be reeling in attention from the side of Omega.
Exactly. Or sustain and damage, percent HP damage.
Ooh.
So, or slowing up. I don't know. That's up to him.
What about COD? That's too late.
Too late.
Too late for
just
that.
percent damage from Glowing One or maybe Ice Queen One.
Oh, wait.
Whoa, what?
That's
Why?
Courtesy, Outplayed, and Zyda. Right from underneath Omega's nose.
Omega does not seem aware. They did not hear any of the cues. No one was paying attention to the Lord.
For viewers out there, it's not Omega misplaying, all right? It's Omega knowing that they're up against a Ling. It's Ling 101. You take out the purple buff against the Ling, you take out his late game. But Echo was like, we're one step ahead. They're gonna go for the purple buff. They've confirmed it. Somebody, somebody from the side of Echo positioned himself to get the vision on the purple buff. And they were like, okay, let's take Lord.
That was one of the fastest Lords I've ever seen.
It's a Lunox.
Yeah.
It's a
And
Beatrix.
a Beatrix. Yeah.
And a Ling with a POD.
So unbelievable.
I'm guessing Omega may have made a calculated risk. It was a gamble, because again, it's not like their wave clear is amazing, so they're looking for a comeback wipeout. That's what they're doing. They're gonna let them come into the base.
Well, we'll have to see if that's gonna pick off. As we do see Echo walking up on top side, we got some minions on the bottom side.
They have
And again, JP is in trouble once more. Pops the immortality here for Omega. Time's journey just to save himself, but not really resulting to much. That is at least an inhibitor on top side. Echo.
I mean, that's one Lord. They still have to take 2 more because there's 2 more turrets.
You know what?
On the side
Play
of
for
Omega.
the long game.
JP for an inhibitor, I'll take that any day.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a good deal.
Hashtag worth.
That's a good deal. I wonder how Omega is now reconciling that fact. Like, you know what, guys? That wasn't such a good trade.
And look at Omega right now. They are looking for a steal or someone to pick off here, but they are spotted out, so no more concealed play from Chaknu. That's read out.
And the map was all theirs, Omega. It was all theirs. They were choking out Zyda, and now Zyda has purple access again.
Flicker for flicker.
Okay.
Straight up trade.
Insane reactions from both sides.
And now Zyda is in the middle of everyone with 3 more DC hunting down Kelra. Colt Alder is popped up. Will not be affecting the Filipino Savage on the back foot. That's one big ultimate being used by Omega.
Both of them, they forced out the Tempest of Blade, so now we are at equilibrium once more. Enough greens on both sides, a flicker spent on the roamer and for outplayed.
Yeah, absolutely good survivability, at least for Echo and for Omega as well, to at least know their opponents. And I love that flicker trade earlier. That was, I don't know who got on top of that one.
Yeah, it was Chaknu.
Yeah,
with the
Chaknu
flicker.
wins.
Flicker, but he advanced the barrier. He was like predicting the flicker back from the Patrix. Unfortunately, he didn't really land on time, so Ape was able to get out safely.
Chaknu! Look at that guy. Almost got taken out there with the burst. Echo barely had the damage offered to do. A 100 to 0.
No, the timing!
No.
Echo forced it out.
No Colt Alter. And Echo, they know that they're in a good position to fight, but look at that barrier.
No Cult Altar? I guess our visuals need to catch up to that.
Yeah.
Etomax clearly has his green right now. This is a 21-minute Lord that we're looking at, enhanced to scale
This is
the
huge.
game's duration. It's huge, it's huge. If
very
Omega
big.
gets this, then that's definitely mid-lane taken down. But
Zyda.
Zyda has plans.
Zyda wants to kind of swap it out. He's calling like, guys, don't go for the Lord.
I like this gameplay. This is a typical Ling game wherein you don't need to be part of this Lord dance because you know Omega will constantly look for the Ling. So
And you'll make it. You'll make it back.
And you'll make it back. So what you do for Echo is clear the waves, every wave that you can. But don't show yourself to a point where Omega, they can calculate the amount of time where Echo can fight into. So again, it's a Lord dance, but Zyda, he shows himself.
Yeah, it's a full Echo squad here around the Lord area. They are aware that the Lord is at half. We got minions on the mid. We're really working on it. It's not a big wave. So now it's going to be up to Omega's decision making. Do we go for it?
Ooh, Etomax tried to reel the Ling in. Didn't really work. Echo still is eyeing at the Lord.
They need JP here. They need JP.
Yeah.
Omega needs to pop JP or Echo needs it to survive. They come in!
It's Kelra on the back. He's got so much damage right now. And
Freemar?
It's going to be Freemar and Zyda. And that's the Tempest of Blaze. He's in the air. Ryzen gets the Lord.
Kelra goes down. 3 more gets him. 2 for none so far on the side of Echo. And that's 1 Lord for
boy.
Omega. And it's all crumbling down.
And that's going to be all on Freemar and Curtizi. Outplayed is untouched. And despite Rezio is all alone, Etomax just spawned up. There is no defense against the Echo Proud squad.
They can try to defend. Outplay takes down the captain. It's over. It's over.
Minions,
it's a
minions,
sweep.
minions,
The minions, no,
minions.
no way.
Minions.
The Lord.
No. No. Hold
Not
on.
yet.
It's not just quite yet. Rezio takes down Outplay.
I cannot believe it. It's 1v1 Rezio and Freemar on the field.
Inside Echo's base. Look
The
at the
base.
inside of Echo's base.
Can he make it in time? Can he make it in time? Freemar is running, and he will make it. Goodness.
Is it enough?
Nice.
Is it enough?
Come on.
Is it enough?
Here
No
comes
way.
Rezio. He's
Here
gonna
comes
force the issue.
Rezio.
He's gonna force the issue. Can he do it?
Oh my goodness. Rezio.
What?
No
Lord's
way.
here. Lord's here. Lord's here.
Diggy?
Wait.
Wait.
Freemar. The true hero
No,
comes
no,
down
no,
and
it's
Ryzen.
everyone's
Here comes
back.
down and Ryzen.
There it
Ladies and
is.
gentlemen, we
Ladies
are
and
gonna
gents.
see game 3.
And the crowd is erupting here in Eastwood City. We got a beautiful series in our faces.
From one close call to another close call to a mini heart attack for everyone in the MPL arena here in Eyesight Building in beautiful Eastwood City.
I cannot believe it. That was a chain of very unfortunate events happening for Echo. And Free Martisi being all alone there. That was actually as close as it could get.
Textbook Omega. This is how they play. This is how they are. They love taking it so close to the edge.
We're 10 seasons in. There's still no scientific explanation as to how Omega does this. But man, Renzio, we were talking about the level of contribution of the Uranus. Didn't really exist in this game. But that last push from Echo, he was like, I'm defending the cannon. I'm gonna stand in front of the cannon. Didn't go in. So Echo, they didn't have the damage to finish the game. The damage reduction from the base was there.
And they say Uranus is not a mechanically demanding hero.
I'm out. Free Martisi obviously did very well in that. He did his best to really keep him at bay. But the lack of ways to control Omega in that last game, in that last fight, was very apparent.
The last 2 or 3 minutes of that game was messy enough for Omega to come through. Because if you're so used to this level of chaos, you enjoy it, you flourish.
And as usual, that's the environment Omega wants in these fights.
True story. In